They were the faces of our childhoods, the ones we grew up with, laughed with, and never expected to lose so soon.
Compensating gravitational pull
Fame came early, but life in all its unpredictability had other plans.
We were texting that night. We were somewhere between the last text he sent me in the morning, he was gone. You never know. It's not cliche to say.
Today we honor their stories, their brilliance, and the legacies they left behind in once famous child actors who passed away. Corey Haim's story begins with a kid who never expected to be famous. Born in Toronto in 1971, he took acting lessons to overcome shyness, only to discover he had a natural charm. That bright grin, the easy humor, the innocence that made audiences root for him instantly. By 12, he landed on the Edison Twins, and his early films showed a young actor with surprising depth. Silver Bullet revealed a tenderness beyond his years. And A Time to Live earned him a Young Artist Award. But it was Lucas that turned him into a sensation, and The Lost Boys that made him unforgettable. Those roles, wide-eyed, earnest, a little mischievous, defined an era of teen cinema, yet the fame that lifted him also demanded more than he could carry. "I thought I could handle it all," he once said quietly, one of the few moments he allowed himself to be vulnerable. As the 90s hit, the roles got smaller, the pressure heavier, and addiction crept in.
I think I have an addiction to pretty much everything. I was what you would have called back then probably a chronic relapser for the rest of my life.
He fought hard, sometimes winning, sometimes slipping. By 2010, he had 10 projects lined up, a comeback finally in reach. But pneumonia claimed him on March 10th at just 38. A life once full of promise, gone far too soon. Judith Barsi's talent seemed almost unreal for someone so young. Born in 1978 and discovered at just 5 on an ice rink, she had a spark that directors noticed instantly. Commercials came first, 72 of them, followed by roles in The Twilight Zone, Jaws, The Revenge, and the beloved animated classics, The Land Before Time and All Dogs Go to Heaven.
Oh, Charlie, I'll miss you. Charlie, will I ever see you again?
Sure you will, kid.
Her voice had a warmth that made audiences fall in love with her characters. To the world, she was a rising star. At home, she was a frightened child living in constant danger. Her father, Judith Barsi, had been spiraling for years. Heavy drinking, violent threats, and a temper that made even neighbors fear what might happen next. Judith tried to hide the truth, but the stress was unbearable. She pulled out her own eyelashes and whispered to friends, "I'm afraid to go home." Social services were alerted more than once. Maria, her mother, prepared to escape, renting an apartment and promising they would leave for good. But before they could break free, everything ended. On July 25, 1988, her father murdered Judith and Maria, then took his own life. A brilliant future was stolen in an instant, leaving a legacy defined not by tragedy, but by a little girl's extraordinary light. Lucille Ricksen's rise was as swift as it was heartbreaking. Born Ingeborg Eriksson in 1910. Chicago, she began as a child model before stepping onto a film set at just 5. After her parents separated, her mother brought her to Hollywood, where Samuel Goldwyn immediately saw something striking in the quiet, self-possessed 10-year-old. Soon she was headlining short comedies, working long hours but insisting she was having fun. By 13, she was starring in dramas like The Rendezvous, with the studio inflating her age to 16 and the press calling her the youngest leading lady in movies. Hollywood noticed her beauty, her poise, and a maturity she didn't actually have. As a juvenile lead who looked older than her years, she was paired with top stars and chosen as a 1924 Wampus baby star. 10 films in a single year pushed her beyond her limits. Exhaustion set in, then illness. Tuberculosis left her bedridden, and her mother stayed by her side until the stress caused a fatal heart attack. Lucille, only 14, followed 2 weeks later. In one lucid moment, she whispered, "Mother wouldn't want me to die, I won't." But the disease was relentless. Her final film, The Denial, premiered 10 days after her passing, a haunting reminder of a future she never got to reach. Lee Thompson Young's career began with a character kids couldn't forget, Jet Jackson, the teen secret agent who balanced school with saving the world. Born in South Carolina in 1984, he moved to New York at 12 and landed the role almost immediately, bringing warmth, humor, and sincerity to a part that carried an entire series. When the show ended in 2001, he transitioned into more mature roles with uncommon grace, appearing in Friday Night Lights, Redemption, Scrubs, and Flash Forward. By the time he joined Rizzoli and Isles as Detective Barry Frost, he'd become the kind of actor colleagues trusted instinctively, steady, thoughtful, quietly talented. But behind that calm presence, he was struggling. When he missed a call time in August 2013, police went to his North Hollywood home and found he had taken his own life at just 29. Those who knew him described the same qualities fans saw: gentle, intelligent, full of quiet kindness. A wonderful and gentle soul, his manager said. Producers, co-stars, singers, and fellow actors echoed the same grief. A light gone too soon. His legacy remains in the characters he brought to life, each one carrying that unmistakable sincerity he shared so generously. Dominique Dunne seemed poised for a long, bright career. Born into a literary and creative family, the daughter of writer Dominique Dunne and the niece of Joan Didion, she stepped naturally into acting after high school. Her early work in Diary of a Teenage Hitchhiker led to roles on Fame, Chips, Heart to Heart, and Breaking Away. But 1982 changed everything. Dominique starred as Dana Freeling in Steven Spielberg's Poltergeist, the role that introduced her to millions. She was only 22 with a sequel already waiting for her. Her future should have been wide open. Instead, she became trapped in a relationship with sous chef John Sweeney, one that began quickly and soured even faster. Friends later recalled bruises, apologies, and a growing fear Dominique tried hard to hide. She finally ended it, hoping distance would keep her safe.
She became frightened. She never told us he was abusive.
to her, and he killed her. He killed her.
But on October 30th, 1982, while rehearsing lines with a friend, Sweeney appeared at her home demanding to talk. Moments later, her friend found him in the bushes, standing over her after strangling her into unconsciousness. She died 5 days later. Sweeney was convicted only of voluntary manslaughter and served just 2.5 years. Dominique's father turned his grief into purpose, becoming a crime writer. But her life remains the story he could never rewrite.
Russian whiskey. What's your name? Chenko? Cherpov?
Ensign Chekhov, Pavel Andreevich, sir.
Anton Yelchin's talent had a quiet intensity, the kind that didn't shout for attention but held it effortlessly. Born in Russia to professional figure skaters and brought to the U.S. as a baby, he grew up curious, thoughtful, and endlessly creative. By 10, he was already on ER, and through his teens, he built a resume full of emotional, complicated roles. Alpha Dog, Charlie Bartlett, and Like Crazy showed an actor who carried honesty in every line, but it was Pavel Chekhov in the rebooted Star Trek films that made him beloved worldwide. That boyish smile, the enthusiasm, the heartbeat of a crew that felt like family both on and off screen. On June 19, 2016, that family lost him. After stepping out of his Jeep at his Studio City home, the vehicle rolled backward down the steep driveway, pinning him against a brick post and fence. Friends arrived when he didn't show up for rehearsal and found him there, a tragic accident caused by blunt, traumatic asphyxia. He was only 27. Tributes poured in. Brilliant, curious, generous, a beautiful soul. Fellow actors, directors, and friends spoke of a young man wise beyond his years, someone who loved deeply and worked fearlessly. His life ended suddenly, but the artistry he left behind still feels limitless.
Don't worry. I'll make you proud.
I know you will.
I'll never wash this face again.
Cameron Boyce carried a brightness that felt effortless. Born in 1999, he stepped into acting early, landing his first film role at 9 in the horror movie Mirrors and quickly proving he could hold his own beside seasoned adults. Grown-ups brought him to an even broader audience, but it was Jesse that made him a household name. As Luke Ross, mischievous, charming, and full of swagger, he became one of Disney Channel's most recognizable young stars. That success opened the door to Descendants, where he played Carlos DeVille with a mix of humor and heart that fans adored. Off-screen, Cameron was known for something deeper, compassion. He used his growing platform to raise money for clean water initiatives and talked passionately about wanting to make the world better than he found it. Friends remembered his laugh, his constant creativity, and an energy that lifted anyone near him.
He said, we all go. He said,
what you leave should be bigger than you.
What you leave here has to be bigger than you.
On July 6, 2019, everything stopped. Cameron died in his sleep from a seizure caused by epilepsy, an ongoing medical condition he had been managing privately. He was only 20. The grief that followed was immediate and immense. Co-stars, directors, millions of fans mourning a young man who seemed destined for decades more light. Matthew Garber's time on screen was brief, but his presence became a cherished part of Disney history. Born in London in 1956 to theatrical parents, he grew up around performers, though no one expected the quiet, expressive boy to become a film favorite. That changed when actor Roy Daughtry spotted him and recommended him to Disney casting. Garber's mischievous squint, nervous hair tucks, and natural charm were impossible to ignore. In 1963, he debuted as Geordie McNabb in The 3 Lives of Thomasina, acting alongside Karen Daughtry, a partnership that would define his career. A year later, he became Michael Banks in Mary Poppins, the energetic, wide-eyed child who helped turn the film into a classic. It remains the role generations remember him for. His final film, The Gnome Mobile in 1967, once again paired him with Daughtry, closing out a trio of Disney films that captured his playful spirit. After leaving acting, Matthew focused on school and lived a quiet life. But during a 1976 trip to India, he contracted hepatitis, an illness he believed came from bad meat. By the time he returned to London in 1977, the infection had devastated his pancreas. He died soon after, at just 21, from hemorrhagic necrotizing pancreatitis. In 2004, Disney posthumously honored him as a Disney legend, a final bow for a boy whose gentle mischief still lingers in every frame he left behind. They grew up on our screens, but their real lives were far more fragile than the characters they played. Losing them reminds us just how deeply childhood stars can imprint on our hearts, and how quickly those bright lights can fade. Which of these young talents did you remember the most? And are there others you think deserve to be honored in a future tribute? If this video touched you, please like, comment, and subscribe. Your support helps us keep their memories alive and continue sharing the stories of stars gone too soon. Thank you for watching.